Welcome to the Warren Andrew Pinder podcast with your host, Warren Andrew Pinder, author and speaker.
Welcome to the Warren Andrew Pinder podcast show. Today, the topic is there's always a solution. In order for there to be a solution, certainly there's always a problem. Each of us can give right now more than 100 problems as to what is going on with them. Problems of money, problems finding a job, problems with the car, problems with the house, problems with the wife, problems with the husband, problems with your children, problems at church, problems wherever you go. But if you allow yourself to get entangled with the day-to-day problems that you are going to face, it's going to be a rocky road. What I'm here today to say is that there is a solution to every problem. That solution may not come when you want it. It may not come as you expect it, or it may not be to your liking, but there is a solution. Now, when we begin to ask yourself, when a problem arises, instantaneously ask yourself, what is the solution? Start to understand that problems are going to make me upset, concerned. Your pressure's going to go up. Your fear of losing your job. There's just so much that are attributed to the many problems that we go through. You got a flat tire and you're late getting to a very important meeting. But when we, in our mind, begin to adapt the fact that what's the solution? Don't consider the problem. Start working instantaneously on solving it. A lot of times we have to record and you can't dismiss what would have caused the problem. But to overcome the problem is far better to deal with the solutions. I can tell you that there's a family member of mine, for whatever reason, we grew up very close and dear to one another, and we're like brothers. And he could count on me and I can count on him. But as we got older, we talk out of respect and knowing that we're family, but we don't click the way we were as kids. And I attribute that to the fact that we have never sought the solution. I'm sure that we both understand the problem. And the problem wasn't that neither of us created, but it's a problem that where, because of the circumstance of, our grandmother and, our parents, one has to be, the catalyst of getting things done for the family estate, and the other feels, and it's not really has never addressed the fact of why can't we solve these problems. I go personal with that and deep to explain that if we continue to carry and bear the burden of a problem, it's going to be hard to find the solution. The solution is right there. But because the problem it becomes juicy, the problem, you're blaming and pointing fingers and speaking out against this one and that one, and you want to know, oh boy, you messed up, you can get in trouble, you just because inside the inner person brings that personality and a personal trait toward just enhancing and causing the problem to exasperate, that the solution is never the focus. You can go home and understand that what you're expected to do as a young man, someone asking you to keep your room clean, to make a contribution, to be in at a particular time, not to have company hang up around your home. As a young lady, don't be outside talking in the street, try and wear clothes that are not revealing. These are problems that someone may have with you as a youth. But do we challenge them? Are you challenge them because ultimately the solution is just to yield and maybe wear a little longer dress or, try and come home a bit earlier. But we oftentimes want to do what we want to do. And as I said, exasperate the problem. But if you would stop a minute and begin to ask yourself the question, why is it that I am having this problem with mommy, daddy, or my boss, my girlfriend, my brother, my sister? What is it? Why is it that they're coming at me? Why is it that, they're down my throat? But look deep within at the solution. There's always a solution, an unfavorable solution or a favorable solution. So if you're being faced with the problem and you've identified the problem is only getting worse if you're not dealing with it. The only thing to do would be to focus on the solution. And whether you deal with it or not, eventually it's going to go away or linger. So always see that, if someone comes to you, like in my capacity as a project manager, and someone comes and says, oh, we're off by X amount of inches, a wall is, is out of place, or, something is unsquare. You can't, we're all professional. So one of the first things you want to do is to look at that problem in terms of, what is it going to cost me to take that wall down, put it to re-wreck it? What is it going to cost me to maybe have to open a roof? And it's the same thing in life.
Thank you for joining today's podcast. We'll be right back.
Achieve Men, written by Warren Andrew Pinder. In this book, you will learn the 7 steps to achieving your dreams and goals. Given the vision to share how the acronym of the word achieve can be used systematically in your day-to-day life. Each of us is given a unique gift from God. Get your copy today. Available in print, ebook, and audiobook from Amazon.
We now return to today's podcast.
Because if we choose to go with a favorable solution that just turn a blind eye and forget about it, or unfavorable solution, there's a price to pay. So the example that I gave earlier with my cousin, the price to pay is that the childhood relationship that we once had is now strained because we won't sit down and find a solution to the problem. The solutions are there. You just got to work it out. A youth, you're going to leave school. If let's say you're in high school and you're going to leave school in a few weeks. A lot of you are taking final exams, and what's next? Knowing that you just graduated. In real life, it's a very competitive market out there for someone seeking a job. Knowing that your parents can't afford you to go to college. Knowing all of these things that are on your chest, that is weighing you down. Problems as to why can't you do what you want to do. To show you that there's a solution to every problem. And I'm just giving a scenario. I'm speaking to a young man or a young lady. The first thing is understanding the time. Understanding that not everything is going to happen in your expected time for it to happen. So literally, you need to take that time gap and say, okay, what do I need to do to meet the criteria? What do I need to do to meet the criteria to get the job that I want, to get into school? Knowing that it's not the end of the world, that the problem doesn't present for you a cliffhanger. It's not. Just go on the internet. Just start going to internet and start to to start to teach yourself these skills. Research what it is that you want. Take the time. The gap, if you can find a job, if you begin to teach yourself skills through certificates that can be offered, online programs, a person seeking a person to work for them would consider that you took out of self-interest the time that you have something that they can work with. So you're now finding a solution to getting and fulfilling the gap of that time. A lot of times, we may have a thought in our mind and we say it can't happen right now because, you don't see it. But the solution, if you begin to work on the solution, you'll get the answers. You'll get the answers that are going to be telling you that this is what I have to do. When you get a solution, it may be something that say, oh, to get a job, I got to move, So start looking at the solution rather than the problems. We all have problems. We face problems daily. Every single day of our lives, we face a problem. You want to go to the beach, but you can't swim. You look at the water, it's beautiful. You want a pool in your house, but you can't swim. You're going to let that problem go with you for the rest of your life? Because I guarantee you, everyone that can't swim, they go to the water. They know that. They want to learn to swim, if only to save their own lives. So do you keep saying, I can't swim? That's a problem. What is the solution? Take classes to learn to swim. So this is what I'm saying to you, that start focusing on a solution. I spoke of Sir Franklin Wilson, and I can tell you, if you ever sat in a meeting with him, I remember someone coming to him once and saying that, there was a problem of, a land dispute, and everyone sitting in that meeting was following the narrative of this problem. And pops up Sir Franklin and said, call the land surveyor. The land surveyor came on the phone and he asked him, could this be possible, that we have this property that this person brought to us to look at be in a different place from the property that was presented on the map? We all physically looked at it and, well, the map says it. But it was in him knowing that there was always a solution, caused the land surveyor to go and do some research, which led to the solution that the task of land was all a part of one. So technically what I'm saying was, the person that was pointing out that the property was in the back did not realize that he owned the whole piece. So if we had accepted it and looked at it as a problem, then it would have been, back and forth, and this is no deal. But it's in his wisdom and understanding and knowing that, I guess seeing things so much in his field, that go and just look at it. Just told the land surveyor, go out there, look at other plans. And that is how the solution came about to that. So yes, there's always a solution. May not be favorable for what you want, but there's a solution. So start to, in your mind, begin to understand that this is just life, that there's a problem and there's a solution. Whether you concentrate on the problem and let it weigh you down, let it cause you heartache, sickness, financial stress, or you choose to deal and begin to look for the solution. If you fall on hard times like, the pandemic, and husbands and wives weren't working and kids been out of school, you could speak of all the scenarios of this pandemic has caused so many problems. But if you're really, really far behind and you're not working, the sad case may be that if all, everyone is down your throat, the collectives are down in your throat, and you're facing some heavy decisions, do you allow the problem to kill you, or you begin to seek a solution that may mean that you have to let some things go? So let's start to, when someone say problem, ask what's the solution, because putting more time in the solution is going to save far more time and energy trying to deal with the problem, because the problem is a beast. It will only get bigger if we start to find and investigate so much into what is the reason of the problem. Don't dismiss it. You cannot dismiss the problem. But you can learn from the problem. You can eradicate it. You can take actions to correct it. And all of these are done by working to find a solution. You'll be listening to the Warren Andrew Pinder podcast show. Again, you can find a lot of these steps in the book Achievement, speaking on a systematic concept using the word achieve to take action, to chart your course, removing the hurdles. With intensified effort and value, you will earn whatever it is you seek to achieve.
Thank you for listening to the Warren Andrew Pinder podcast. We hope you were encouraged and moved to take action. For more information about Warren Andrew Pinder and his book, Achieve Men, visit www.warrenandrewpinder.com.